Good morning, this is Kasturi Day. I was discussing about the energy chapter according to ICSE syllabus class 7. So I was continuing with I will start today with the long and short answers. Okay. So first one is, what is mechanical energy? It is the energy that an object possesses due to its motion or its position. Okay. Now, how is energy obtained from flowing water? When the water flows, it has kinetic energy. The flowing water is made to spin on the turbine, which in turn rotates the generator to produce electricity. Okay. Then state the energy transformation when an electric car moves on the road. The electricity from the battery of the car gets converted to the mechanical energy which makes the car move on the road. Now, give an example where electrical energy gets converted into sound energy. It's the audio speaker which converts electrical energy into sound energy. Name the energy possessed by a flower pot placed at the rooftop of the building. Gravitational potential energy. Now describe the different units of energy. What is the relationship between calorie and joule? Now we know that units of energy, the SI unit of energy is joule. Now 1 joule is defined as the amount of work done when a force of 1 Newton causes a displacement of 1 meter in the direction of the force. Okay. So as joule is a small unit, so larger units are kilojoule is kilojoule. 1 kilojoule is equal to 1000 joules. Now another unit of energy is calorie, that is CAL, and joule is represented by symbol J, capital J. Kilojoule is represented by capital K, then J, capital J. Now what is a calorie? It is the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree centigrade. Again, since calorie is a smaller unit, larger unit is kilocalorie. And 1 kilocalorie is equal to 1000 calories. It's found that the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree centigrade is 4.186 joule. That is equal to approximately 4.2 joules. Okay, therefore 1 calorie is equal to 4.186 joules, or you can say 1 kilocalorie is equal to 4186 joule. Now again, the next question is, what is meant by mechanical energy, and explain in detail. Now mechanical energy is that energy which an object possesses due to its motion or its position. For example, when we lift a stone from the ground, our body supplies the force, okay, now which raises the stone to a height from the ground. That is, we are doing some work on the stone, and when we are doing a work on the stone, this our body energy excuse me, the energy which was inside our body is now being transferred into the stone and gets stored there as potential energy. Okay, now that is a mechanical energy. In doing the work, our body spends some energy which is gained by the stone. That is the potential energy, or you can say it is a mechanical energy. Therefore, the energy possessed by a body due to the work done is called the mechanical energy. There are two types of mechanical energy, that is kinetic and potential energy. The kinetic energy is that energy that a object possesses due to its state of motion. Example, a walking man, child riding a cycle. Okay. Then cycling, child cycling on the road. Then that is a kinetic energy. Example. Then potential energy, it is an energy that an object possesses due to its position. For example, a book kept on the top of the table, etc. Now, potential energy can be of two types. One is gravitational potential energy. Another one is elastic potential energy. Now, gravitational potential energy is that energy that an object possesses due to its raised position. For example, when a brick is raised to a height, then that is gravitational potential energy. Now next is elastic potential energy. This it is the energy which is possessed by an object which gets stored in it when the body is stretched, compressed or bent. Okay. When the elastic, for example, when the elastic band of a catapult is stretched, the elastic potential energy gets stored in the band, and when the band is released, the energy is so much that it can make a stone move with great speed. The kinetic energy of the moving stone is obtained from this elastic potential energy stored in the band. Now, next question. Explain why water stored in a dam has potential energy. Because of its position. Okay, it gets stored in the dam, in the water. The potential energy is the energy which is possessed by any body, any object, when it is in a specified position or it is not moving. Okay. Then water is in the dam does not move unless the water is being used for generating electric purposes, electric power. Then the water's potential energy then changes when it is used for generating electric power. That is, water falls from the dam on the turbine. So at that time, the potential energy of the water changes into kinetic energy to rotate the turbine, which is attached to the dams, and this rotating of the turbine help to generate electricity. Okay. Now, what do you understand by transformation of energy? Explain by giving an example. The different forms of energy can be transferred from one form to another. So, the change of one form of energy into another form is called transformation of energy. Okay. For example, when a car engine runs, the chemical energy of the fuel changes into kinetic energy, heat energy and also sound energy when the car starts moving. Okay. Now explain the conservation of energy in a roller coaster. In a roller coaster, the sum of the potential energy and kinetic energy of the car at any point of the roller coaster is always constant. This is conservation of energy. That is the total, therefore the total energy is conserved. When the car is at the top of the coaster, it has its potential energy is maximum. Okay. And when the car is at the bottom of the coaster, it has its maximum kinetic energy. When the car is going up or coming down, in between, that is, the potential and kinetic energies are readily changing from one form to another. Now name 5 different forms of energy. Heat energy, light energy, chemical energy, sound energy, magnetic energy, atomic energy, okay, mechanical energy. Okay, there are different forms of energy. Give one example of a body that has potential energy in each of the following: due to its position and due to its state. First, due to its position. Example is a hammer at a height has potential energy stored in it. When the hammer has this energy because of its position at a height. Now, when it is coming, when it is dropped on a nail, fixed on the piece of wood, it drives the nail because it has the potential energy, which when it falls on the nail, the potential energy gets converted into kinetic energy, which forces the nail to drive into the wood. Okay. Second is the compressed spring. The compressed spring has potential energy stored in it, which is equal to the work done on the spring in bringing it to the compressed state. Okay. Now the state, the two factors on which the potential energy of a body at the certain height above the ground depends. First, it depends on the mass of the body, and second, it depends on the height above the ground. Okay, mass of the body, greater the mass of the body, greater will be the potential energy. And again, the greater the height of the body, greater will be its potential energy. Next, two bodies A and B of masses 10 kg and 20 kg respectively are at the same height above the ground. Which one of the two has greater potential energy? See, I told you that potential energy depends on mass as well as on height. The greater the mass, the greater will be the potential energy, and greater the height, the greater will be the potential energy. Now here we see that height are same. In the two bodies A and B, they are kept at the same height, but their mass differs. A has less mass, B has more mass. A is 10 kgs and B has 20 kgs. So the more mass will have more potential energy. Okay, so B will be having the more potential energy. A bucket full of water is on the first floor of your house, and another identical bucket with the same quantity of water is kept on the second floor. Which one of the two has greater potential energy? Again, see here, the mass are same because the bucket are both the buckets have same quantity of water, but only here the height is different. For one of the bucket is kept on the first floor, another bucket is kept on the second floor. So the bucket on the second floor has more height than the bucket which is kept on the first floor. So the bucket which is kept on the second floor will have more potential energy. Okay. Now state the two factors on which the kinetic energy of a moving body depends. The mass of the body and the speed of the body. The kinetic energy, that is the greater will be the mass, greater will be the kinetic energy, higher will be the kinetic energy. Again, more the speed, more will be the kinetic energy. Now, next question is, two toy cars A and B of masses 500 and 200 grams respectively are moving at the same speed. Which will have more kinetic energy? Now I told you that kinetic energy depends on mass and the speed. More the mass, more will be the kinetic energy. More the speed, more will be the kinetic energy. So here we see that the speed is the same, velocity is the same. Only difference is the mass. A is having more mass than B. A is 500, B is 200 grams. So A will have more kinetic energy. So I stop here. I'll continue with the next my next video, the rest of the question answers. Please go through this. If you have any doubt, please write in the comment box. And if you like the video, press the like button. If you are a new viewer to my channel, or if you have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe so that you can get the notification of my next video. Thank you.